Would you like a bit of water?
No.
Ooh,
If I do, I
recognise that.
if I can spit on it. So
Oh, that would be
so
nice if you spat on it.
No, I don't
Please
need
don't.
Hey,
Phil,
I'm
yeah,
clean enough.
glasses are coming out. That's a good sign.
No,
Stop giggling and ask him a question.
Okay.
even from here, I think with my untutored eye.
So I don't know anything about flint.
Well, I
but
know that.
You are the master. Can
Well,
you
I know a
please
bit
tell
now.
me what it is and how old it is? More
Well,
importantly.
it is a blade.
Yeah, well, I know that much.
You said you knew nothing.
All right, can we not interrupt a minute?
Yeah.
Just let him. You ask him the question.
Oh, sorry.
Basically, you ask him the question, then you let him think a
Okay.
bit. Restrain yourself.
It's a blade because it is twice as long as it is broad. It is not flint. It's chert, which is a similar sort of material to flint. It's a slightly grainier material. Geologists call it all chert, so they regard flints as cherts. It's a deliberate blade. In other words, it has come off of a blade core, which is a core which has been prepared specifically to make blades. It has been prepared from a blade core with a posed striking platform. So this particular blade was struck at that end, going that way, but equally there was another surface which flakes and blades were struck from that end. So you've got, you can see there's flake scars coming from that end. So that's nice. That tells me that whoever made this core knew how to make blades. And if you don't know how to make blades, you can't make them. It's a skill that you have to learn. So the fact that this person learned it and mastered it, that's good. I take my hat off. I said, nice technique.
My memory, Phil, of blades is it's this thing about getting the maximum amount of cutting edge from a piece of flint, a core, effectively.
You astound me. You absolutely astound me. You've actually listened. You've actually listened and taken in something I've told you. That is the first time, and we have it on camera that he's actually listened and absorbed something. I thought my words were going on the spoil tip for yours, but no, absolutely right, Because you see here, this is the beauty of being able to prepare a good blade core. There is a nice strong ridge. That nice strong ridge will control and guide the blade. In this case, it's a nice straight ridge, and it gives you a blade with nice straight edges. You see that one there? Now, you can put that blade into a wooden handle with a load of other blades, and that will then increase the potential cutting edge at your disposal.
So is it quite difficult to actually produce that?
It's difficult if you don't know how to do it. Once you know how to do it, a good blade maker will know how to make blades. And of course, this then becomes a disposable item, because if this particular bit gets blunted or lost, you just take another blade and slot it in. Now, back to where I was with the technology, because I hadn't finished, I'm still eulogising about this. This sort of crushing at the edge here, this flaking at the edge here, is deliberate. Now, it's not accidental. That's not where somebody's been bashing away at it fruitlessly. This is deliberate. This is what we call abrasion, platform abrasion. The idea is that you strengthen the edge of the core, so that when you deliver the blow right on the edge. Now you can see that is the amount of the core that has been lost. In other words, the blow has gone right on the edge. Again, nice technique. It's made all this work worthwhile.
That's pretty phenomenal, really, because if you think of a big lump of flint that you're trying to produce that with.
Yeah, but you see, if you didn't do that, but the fact that they've taken the trouble to do that means that when that blade comes off, the core is still nice and clean. So you just repeat the process, trim, abrade very, very carefully, then you knock the next blade off. If they hadn't have done that, they could have actually crushed the edge of the core, and then that means you lose a lot of raw material. You have to throw it away, and you don't want to throw it away. Remember, this stuff is a rare commodity around here, so you can't really afford to be wasteful. As for the actual hammer that they've used, this is probably a soft hammer, maybe a piece of antler or maybe a soft stone. Quite nice, very, very nice in fact.
Phil, I saw you put a number of those into a piece of wood to make a scythe, something to cut.
Yeah.
What does that date-wise think? Are we talking when?
We're probably talking, I would think probably early Neolithic, probably for that. Hey?
Date-wise?
Date-wise, that's going to be sort of maybe 4000 BC. It's the 4000, 3000 BC. It could be Mesolithic.
I'm really happy about that. Do you know where that's come from?
It's come out of your ditch, has it?
Yeah, from the bottom.
Well, you see, this doesn't surprise me, because if you've got an eminence, and this is, you can't get much of more of an eminence than this. People are going to come up here, and they're just going to maybe chill out for a while. Look at that panoramic view. If they're hunting, and if they're out just on the hunt or something like that, they can see the movement of game from up here, and they can actually control what's happening. The other thing which is also really, really nice about this eminence is its relationship to the drainage patterns. It's not just a high hill, it overlooks river valleys, river courses and what have you, and river courses and valleys are going to be where people come up and down. They're going to move around in those valleys. Periodically they'll come up here, they'll have a look round, they'll see what's happening, and then maybe once they've planned out where they're going to go to, look, there's a herd of so-and-so over there. And I mean, although people think that people in the early Neolithic were farmers, everybody said, farmers and all that shit. They were also hunters as well. They didn't just give up hunting, they had to go out and kill stuff. So they must have been moving around as well.
And if we were asking Victor, Phil, to do a picture of a group of people up here napping flints, or is that the kind of image, possibly taking in the view, having hunted deer, presumably, or something?
Yeah, I mean, literally deer, presumably boar, I suppose, something like that. They would have that would have been. I'm sure there's a whole range of wild creatures that would have been. And of course, I happen to know that this is not the first blade from your trench.
No, it's not.
Because I happen to know, because I was sniffing around in your finds tray last night, that there was another part of a blade in there.
There was.
And I happen to know also that there are bits of Portland chert in there. Now, Portland chert is not native to this neck of the woods, so Portland chert has come in from Portland Bill, and that again, it didn't come up here by road. The best form of road communication is going to be the river valleys.
Yeah.
So that kind of means that what you really got to do is start looking at the drainage patterns as well as the flint technology.
One of the things I remember you showing me, Phil, when we looked at those a long time ago, was how sharp that edge can be, even now after it's been around for thousands of years.
You could cut your finger on that easily.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say you could cut your beard with that, but
I don't quite have one yet. Not yet.
Not even a nasal hair, Raksha.
I'm training them to be like yours.
Is that right?
Yeah.